Ah, Christmas. What a wonderful, magical time of year that many spend with their family and friends. A time to appreciate what we have in life and make our loved ones around us happy. That's why this Christmas, I will be taking a break from making videos and just being on the internet in general, so I can get as much quality family time as possible over the holidays. Thank you so much. Oh, what's this?
Yo, Adam, I was just reading over your plans for Christmas on the channel and, I think we need to talk.
Oh, cool, mate. What's up?
Yeah, you gotta make a Zelda video for Christmas, bud.
Come on, it's Christmas.
Adam, listen, I'm your manager, and I'm telling you that you must make a video for Christmas.
But what about time with the family?
No, it's not happening. Either you make a video or your career is done. Make sure to sound happy and in the Christmas spirit too. Looking forward to seeing the video.
At least give me Christmas Day off, what?
Looking forward to seeing the video, man. Merry Christmas, bud.
Fine. A time to appreciate what we have in life and make our loved ones around us happy. Being the Zelda fanatic I am, I knew I had to do something Zelda related for Christmas. So I got to work on looking into and brainstorming some potential Christmas themed videos. After considering ideas such as the best snow areas or dungeons in the series, best ice themed enemies in the series, and a few other similar run-of-the-mill ideas, an idea that I have actually thought about for years reinstated itself into my mind. Is Christmas celebrated in the Zelda series? I'm almost certain I think about this every single year, but typically just shrug off the idea as it seems silly considering The Legend of Zelda is just a video game set in the fantasy land of Hyrule. However, this year, I did some research and digging, and believe it or not, there might actually be a form of Christmas in the Kingdom of Hyrule. So, with it being Christmas Eve, I thought for a bit of fun we could take a look into what Christmas is like in the Kingdom of Hyrule. Firstly, what is Christmas? I know it may seem like a bit of an odd question at first, but in this day and age, many children grow up knowing Christmas by one word: presents. Of course, this isn't everyone, but there are actually a few different reasons that people across the globe celebrate Christmas. This will be very important to know for today's theory, as we need to draw comparison to events that happen in Hyrule for the video to make sense. Christmas, to many, is an annual festival celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ, primarily celebrated on the 25th of December. Whilst the origins are indeed connected to Christianity, the occasion is celebrated by many people from all walks of life, regardless of whether they are religious or not. The reason this event is so special and celebrated from a religious or cultural side is because, and please correct me if I'm wrong, as this is the most common answer I could find from asking family members and researching, Christianity is a religion based on the life and teachings of Jesus Christ, the man who was born on the 25th of December, which is why Christmas is such a big deal. For the most part, this is all we need to know for the video, to make our Hylian comparison, but we will dip in and out with connections to our Christmas whilst discussing Hyrule's festive season. So let's look at historic and important events that took place in the Zelda series, in particular, the events of Skyward Sword. As most of you already may know, Skyward Sword is the first game in the Zelda timeline, and documents the birth of the Kingdom of Hyrule, along with telling the story of Demise's initial invasion to the land, the story of Skyloft and Hylia, the forging of the Master Sword, and of course, the tale of the original legendary hero Link, showing his journey to defeat Demise and officially establish the Kingdom of Hyrule. Knowing what the origins of Christmas are in our world, this gives us a basis to go off of and look for something that is the exact same within the Zelda series. The instant conclusion many would jump to is the birth of Hylia reincarnate Zelda, the first of many girls with the blood of the goddess, along with the birth of the first hero, Link, the hero of skies. Whilst these events could be celebrated in the same vein as Christmas, they don't seem to be. We do see some traditions and celebrations across a few different games further down the timeline that are connected to the hero, most notably being the tradition in The Wind Waker where, upon coming of age, boys that live on Outset Island wear a green tunic to pay reverence to the hero of time. Reverence meaning to show deep respect to someone or something. Whilst this isn't honouring the original hero, it does prove to us that there are forms of celebration and honouring people of importance from the past in the Zelda series. To back that up, there is also the Picori Festival, which is celebrated in the events of the Minish Cap, to celebrate the coming of the Picori people. Further backing up that traditional celebrations do exist in Hyrule. Now, here is where it gets a little tricky. There is no celebration in honour of the birth of the first hero and Zelda as far as we can see, but there is something fairly close. The day that the first hero set out on his quest to defeat Demise and eventually establish Hyrule. Whilst it's not the same as the birth of someone practically sacred to a group of people, like Christ in Christianity, it shares similar factors. From the countless days and weeks of endless research that I did for this video, I found a rather interesting website. The site is called The Land of Hyrule, and I will have it linked in the description if you would like to check it out for yourself. The website does seem rather odd and a bit outdated, but still filled with some interesting content. They have all sorts of information for you, from the important people of Hyrule, to the governments, religions, sages and gods, the names for the days of the week, months, and stuff along those sort of lines. But there is one section in particular that interested me. The Holidays of Hyrule. This section has what they claim to be every single holiday in the Zelda series, in order from the beginning of the year in January, or Hylia, to the end of the year in December, or Shikara? After having a look at the list, some of them do sound like they would be real holidays in Hyrule, just not really seen within the games. Once you get to the bottom of the list, you will find a holiday called Skyloftia, and this is what Hyrule's Christmas could be. As you can see from the description of this holiday, it is celebrating the day that the first hero courageously set off on his journey to take on Demise, and discover what would become Hyrule. It also states that the traditions of this day are much like our holiday Christmas. A tree is placed within homes, decorated with lights, ornaments, and most interestingly, a figure of Link riding the Crimson Loftwing, similar to how many of us in the real world would place an angel or star atop of our trees. The Hylians place the Loftwing at the top, which is also used to symbolise the unity between their former home Skyloft and their now home, the Surface, that the hero cleared of evil and went on to become Hyrule. I say could be Hyrule's Christmas because there is a slight issue with all of this. From what I could find, there is no sources to where this information on these holidays, monthly names and such as came from. For all I know, it's completely made up, just a sort of fan project. I tried doing some further research across forums, other Zelda websites, and even in the Zelda books I own, but I just couldn't find it. I'm not saying this is made up, but I can't find any sources from Nintendo themselves to back this up. Knowing that, you'd think the video would be a bust, right? Well, not quite. Whilst this information could be completely false, it does however present an idea, and a very possible idea at that. What if Hyrule does celebrate Christmas? It is fairly likely that there are many festivals, celebrations and holidays within the series that we don't know about. After all, what we as players play is only a certain time frame of life within the game. The games don't have an annual calendar cycle for us to follow. They typically only have a day and night cycle, in a sense looping or just stretching our time controlling the hero. They are video games at the end of the day, and stuff like this isn't often considered when making a game, especially in Nintendo's case. Looking at you, Zelda Timeline. Now you might ask me, HG, where are you going with this video? And honestly, I'm not 100% sure. The main purpose and or goal of this video was to look into the idea of Hyrule and or the Zelda series as a whole having their own Christmas, whether it be a copy of what we consider to be Christmas or something in a similar fashion. Whilst Skyloftia isn't 100% legit, it could to some degree be real. If you have the source to that, then please let me know down below in the comments. Otherwise, all I can see it as is an idea starter, if that makes any sense. It's presenting an idea of what Hyrule's equivalent to Christmas could be. The only thing I'm not so sure on is if the hero actually descended to the surface to face demise on the 25th of December. There really is no way to back up that claim, so it is purely speculation. As mentioned at the beginning of the video, this is just a bit of fun, so take it all lightly and with a grain of salt. It is Christmas after all. There is still a remaining question though. What else could be the origin of Christmas to Hyrule? Like I said not too long ago, there is likely to be many holidays and celebrations that we don't know of and or see, as we the player only control a certain time frame. Alternatives to the website's idea of a Hylian Christmas could be celebrating the victory over demise, the birth of Hyrule, the day the people of the skies all fully moved onto the surface, or it could be as suggested, celebrating the day Link began his journey to defeat demise. The matter of the fact is, we don't know. And I don't think we ever will, but as an aspiring video game theorist, analyst and content creator, I feel it is important to ask these questions. When it comes to questions and theories, you won't always get the answer you were looking for, but to me, that's the fun of it. And you might even discover a new way of thinking, which is what I took from this sort of for fun video. I'm really interested to know your thoughts however. How do you think Christmas, or Hyrule's equivalent of Christmas, is celebrated, and for what reason? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. Thanks a lot for watching. I really hope you enjoyed and hope that this video opened up your way of thinking when it comes to holidays, religions and such within the Zelda series, and just video games as a whole. Big thanks to my good friend Chris, or as many of you may know him as Hexovian, for doing the phone call gag earlier in the video. I don't want to make this outro too long, as I'm sure many of you have Christmas Eve plans and such, so big thanks to my Patreon supporters as always. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas, or if you don't celebrate Christmas, an amazing week, or whatever you may celebrate. Thanks for watching, and until the next time, I've been Hyrule Gamer.